We are Crossing the Nerdverse, bringing you yet another episode. We are back at full strength, to use a hockey term, since that was the topic of discussion before this podcast started.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you all. This week's topic, we're going to be talking nerdy commerce. We're going to give some stuff that we've spotted to keep your eye on for like Black Friday sales and stuff like that. But yeah, with that, let's do a little catching up. We'll do our little roundtable news thing and then hop right in. So, who wants to go first?
I will.
Hit me.
So I'm a big Steam Deck guy. I enjoy
Mhm.
it. I think it's great. I have no clue why they're making a console. I mean,
I didn't
I
even
don't
know they
get that
were.
at all.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're making a console, which makes no sense to me. Um, very curious as to how that's going to work because their big thing is the portability.
Well, I
So
I know how
like,
consoles work. You'll
uh,
hook your like monitor or TV up to them along with like power and internet, and then when you turn it on, you'll be able to log into an account and then play games. So, I hope that helped.
funny guy. But yeah, no, I just don't get it because the Steam Deck's like the way it functions and stuff like that. You can make it a console by buying like, and it's not even expensive. The stand for it and just hook it to your TV or your monitor. So I'm kind of curious what this means for the Steam Deck. Are they going to start doing less with it and stick with consoles? Like, what are we? What's the plan? This would be like if Nintendo made a console to go with the Switch. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Doesn't make sense to me either. Especially just like
Yeah.
I feel like in modern environments, like the consoles just are not as popular as they once were in general. So I don't know. Seems like a bad idea, but
Steam, they or Valve, they make a lot of
Valve,
money. I
yeah,
guess they can
yep,
throw it away.
yeah. I guess
So
do what they want,
I
right?
guess that's what they're doing. I don't
Um,
know.
They
speaking of
got that
video
disposable
games,
income.
yeah. Speaking of video games, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 just dropped. It's pretty big on the streaming right now. Looks pretty cool. Dropped for both console and PC. Also, game related, the nominees for the Game Awards will be announced on Monday.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one actually.
Ooh.
So as far as my news goes, it's also video game related. Um, uh, I guess this is going to play more towards both gamers and fans of Critical Role, as my news normally does. However, a collaboration with Critical Role just saw the release of one of their uh, a new video game called Dispatch. And I wanted to put this on the commerce list so bad, but we're still 2 months out from anything, and it'd be weird to hold on to. You know what I mean? So I'm going to use it for my news instead. Dispatch so far is a fantastic narrative story game in the style of, um, help me out, Bones, the Telltale
Yeah,
stories, and it is voiced by a wide collection of some of my favorite voice actors out there, including nearly the entire cast of Critical Role. And so, as far as the Game Awards coming out on Monday, man, I hope Dispatch gets it.
there's some drama around that because of Laura Bailey's character in Girl,
Hmm.
her design being similar, and like to me, the most vaguest way similar to Vi from Arcane.
Yeah, it's because they got the semi pixie haircut and the
Yeah,
dash of
that's like
color, and
literally, it's literally like hair, and she has rolled up sleeves. And it's
yeah,
like, oh, it's the same. You copied her.
So, yeah, same. That's all it
yeah.
takes. Clone.
Um,
My oh,
no, so that was just tagging onto that. Is like if anybody that's actually watched it or played Dispatch knows that that comparison is ridiculous.
yeah. I've got two little pieces of news. First one's going to be wrestling related because I always do wrestling related news. John Cena is now a Grand Slam champion. He won the Intercontinental title on Monday from Dominic Mysterio. I'm really hoping his last match is still against Dom. Uh, again, just so Dominic Mysterio can say I retired John Cena. I doubt that's what's going to happen, but fingers crossed. My other little piece of nerdy news is that player retention for Destiny 2 and Bungie has reached an all-time low. Sony is definitely putting the pressure on them now for their next release to be a big hit, or else Bungie may get dissolved into Sony Studios.
Ooh, rough play.
Yeah.
That's wild to hear. It was not that long ago that Bungie was still counted amongst some of the top titans of the gaming industry.
Well, and I mean, they've always been modeled after like the indie style gaming where they tried to stay focused on small crews, hyper focused on a single thing at a time. Hopefully this release, again, hopefully the new release for Marathon goes really well and we can continue to see Bungie Studios exist. I would hate to see them just to get absorbed into Sony Studios. But I mean, they are already owned by Sony, so I guess that wouldn't be a super shock, but we'll see how all that goes.
Well, the last piece of news that I have, this one's going to be playing towards our trading card audience, and that's the news of the double down by Wizards of the Coast as they team up with TCG Player. Now, earlier in the year, Wizards of the Coast had announced kind of a soft partnership with TCG Player, which is a subsidiary of eBay. They kind of set them up to be the standard when it comes to the aftermarket and economy of trading card games. And they just recently kind of doubled down on that, making an official announcement that is their preferred platform for third-party sales, as well as effectively setting them up to be entirely in control of the pricing for aftermarket cards. Which, I mean, interesting. There's a couple of quotes by Brian Trunk, who is the vice president of Wizards Commercial. It says their investment in local game stores and Wizards Play Network is at the core of their initiative moving forward. Now, this makes me itch a little bit, and Bones already knows why, but Wizards of the Coast kind of officially hit evil corporation mode earlier this year for me. Yeah. And it's become quite obvious. I'm going to say actually last year with a lot, was it last year? With the OGL D&D scandals. And so now it looks like they're actually tightening their grip a lot more on their TCG platforms, going into this TCG Player Union, and a lot of those settlements in that regard, instead of crunching down on their RPG section.
Hashtag Hasbro.
Yeah, hashtag Hasbro. Hashtag has been. So yeah, interesting news coming for our TCG players that TCG Player, the company, will now officially be in charge of aftermarket pricing.
I'm excited for the eventual Fortnite Magic the Gathering collab because they will then have touched every single IP in nerddom.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Period. So I don't play Fortnite. I support the people that do, because the more people playing Fortnite, the less people playing my games.
Less people playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. I actually think Magic the Gathering would be a cool Fortnite crossover. Like, out of everything that they've done, I actually think the major Planeswalkers would be a fun add-on.
It'll probably happen. They've touched almost every other IP, it seems like. But
I mean, it's Fortnite.
With that, we'll get into our first recommendation. If you know people that play a lot of Fortnite, buy them a gift card to give them little Fortnite bucks so they can buy extra skins. That's always a good go-to, especially for like kids. To give in-game currency.
Yeah, I had some thoughts on that, because the in-game currency, especially for younger ones, just is kind of covering it. It's very impartial.
Yeah. That's like getting a gift card as an adult.
It's like getting a gift card.
Yeah.
So I did want to shout out, we do have, it looks like Fanto is back in our chat, bringing up the delay of GTA 6. Was there official news about
yeah, it's
GTA 6 delay?
Well, it wasn't official news. It was from reputable sources.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was unaware of a delay for GTA 6. That is interesting.
That game's never coming out.
Dude, that game is never it's Elder Scrolls 6. Like
yeah. They're just gonna start doing the Skyrim thing, and they're just gonna release an anniversary edition of Grand Theft Auto 5 every couple of years. Keep people.
I think there's going to be a big system announcement next winter. Is why they're doing it.
Yeah,
that's what I put in the chat too. I think there'll be something that's coming along with it, like a new announcement for something. Who knows? Maybe Xbox, PlayStation, maybe some other new handheld that's going to be awesome.
Something I
I
still
definitely
won't
think
buy.
with them pushing,
Bring-
especially the
yeah.
particular
Bring back
time
the-
they picked.
Bring back the PSP.
But in any case,
Tiny
to,
little
Oh.
discs.
to yank the reins back in,
That saved my life.
as Travis mentioned earlier, we are going to be doing kind of a nerdy commerce. We're going to be talking about good and bad buys, especially with the holiday season coming up. If you have somebody in your life that is struggling to figure out what to get you for the holiday season and need some guidelines, or if anybody knows some non-geeks, non-nerds that hang out in the geek crowd, this episode hopefully will cover a wide range of things that will be good picks and bad picks going into the holiday season. I only have a few kind of like fails when it comes to this particular holiday season. So I'm going to get my first one right out of the way. We have one easy go-to from Travis with the in-game currencies. Microtransaction, unfortunately, is the name of the game right now. Because of that, my first don't do this is going to be subscription services. Most pointedly, things like Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. The
Is it
unfortunate,
because they doubled in price?
they almost tripled. Like, they're realizing that people were taking a significant investment into that and learned that they could squeeze even more from it. And it's difficult for me to support that.
No, I get it. Like I said, my
So
go-to
the
for
o-
for people who have kids that I know play games, like getting them a little in-game currency
Oh
as
yeah,
like a
well,
little gift card thing is just a fun little, because then they can unlock a skin or something that they didn't have before, something that they
we were just talking about
is just a want. You know what I mean? One of those things where it's like it doesn't serve a practical purpose, but I gotta have it.
yeah. Well, Fortnite. It's a perfect example. Get them some in-game currency for Fortnite, and they can pick up the sweet new Magic the Gathering skins that'll be coming out in January.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Now that we've mentioned it, it's gonna become a reality.
yeah, that is not an official thing, by the way. That is
Can't
just
wait
me.
for Nicol Bolas and Fortnite.
Dude, that would
Yeah,
be cool.
that'd
But yeah, that's my big one. Like with the sheer number of subscription services that we have available nowadays in any form of entertainment, giving that as a gift, in my opinion, sets up kind of future losses. You kind of get obligated into sticking to that subscription service for a little while, and so I would avoid that. In truth, I'm starting to lean a lot more towards back to the physical media. I mean, says the unplugged gaming specialist, I guess, but yeah, the squeeze
So
that's coming
the
down is just absurd.
the
And honestly,
problem
I
you're going
would,
to run into is one, you need the service. You need the service nowadays, though. You can't play online without it.
yeah,
So like it sucks to say it like in some senses, but like it's weird if you have a big moral compass, like I get it, but um generally, like especially like kids that play a lot of different games, it's about the best way to go because you don't have to worry about buying games. Like there's so many games that come on these, especially if you get the more expensive ones, like PlayStation's more expensive one. I don't think it's worth the cost, but like there's just so many games. Like you'll never fucking run out of games to play. It's wild. And that way you don't have to buy new games all the time, and your kid can have some variety. You can even share games and like stream them instead of load them on your system. Like I mean, it is hard for some people, and for some games. Now you're seeing like some companies with Xbox taking hits because their games are there, but the end of the day, most things are going streaming anyways. So I think we're going to lose physical media sooner than later.
I mean, I really don't think we're going to lose physical media altogether. And the thing is with the subscription services, you can still get Xbox Live or like the lowest tier version for the same cost that you were playing. Like for the Ultimate, that still gets you online. It just doesn't get you the gigantic library that you were at. So I mean, like I said, it's fine. It is what it is, in one of those regards. I didn't focus on any must avoids. Most of my stuff was like I kind of ran the gamut of like really expensive, cool, nerdy stuff to like stocking stuffer level as
Oh.
far as price point goes.
Hey,
On
actually,
mine,
that's a great
so,
way to go about it. That's fantastic.
I'm going to start off with one of my stocking stuffers, and that's the Barefoot Dream Cozy Socks. They're like a moisture wicking, really warm sock, and you can get them in a variety of prints, like all kinds of different nerdy stuff. I don't know about you guys. I know Ryan suffers from it, especially in his little basement dungeon during the winter of being very cold,
Yep.
and having nice, comfy socks is definitely a good way to go. Yeah, Bones. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. You got to have good socks on, man.
Actually, that's
Cold
a
in Colorado,
great
man.
that's a
Yeah.
great opener, man. Anybody that does any kind of sit down gaming, whether it's RPGs, board games, video game consoles, computers, dude, blankets and cozy socks are a must.
Yeah, like I said, cozy socks all the way. So
And you
yeah,
know what?
that's
The nerdier print you can get on them, the better. Like, because you
yeah,
can get
these
them
one
anything.
I sent a couple of links to my wife with like some prints that I wanted, because there was one that had the chibi style Space Marines,
Nice.
and I was like,
Gotta have
I
it.
could rock those. Yeah, like I'd wear those to work.
Yeah.
I went a different route. I kind of just focused on what I like to call like nerd infrastructure.
Okay.
So I was thinking about things that enable you to be more nerdy. So things like wet palettes for painting,
Oh yeah.
or alligator clip sticks
Yeah.
for priming. You know,
It's called a
stuff
helping
like that.
hand.
Yeah, a magnifier of some kind. Um, like a what is it, like CR31, CR something like that, like daylight lights, like a lamp,
Oh
like
yeah.
a daylight lamp. Super helpful for getting colors and stuff like they actually will look when you get them out under real light, not your typical housing lights.
Actually, one of mine ties directly into that, Bones, because I had it set up for I think they're called streaming halos, but it's big
Mhm.
arch lights that go all the way over the desk in order to provide multiple angles of light. Those are amazing. If you have somebody in your life that is a painter or a miniatures collector of any kind, that kind of lighting source, oh, it's amazing.
I mean, just to jump on that, another thing to go with that is the magnified ring light for painting. Super
Mhm.
handy. I have one. You can actually pick them up. I picked mine up on clearance from like, I want to say it was Bed Bath and Beyond in their like little makeup section, because they've got a for people doing their nails. The little magnifier. I picked one up,
I
used it
didn't
for my
even think of
modeling.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, got it on sale. It was like $10. So again, that's another like really
That's brilliant. Yeah. I didn't think
really
about the
cost effective,
nail
and
game.
it's it's extremely handy to have. I have used that thing so much. Like I poo-pooed it at first, so I tried it and I was just like, oh, I can make my
Oops.
Space Marines slightly less cross-eyed than I was before. Like,
Well, and in truth, that's a direct point. I use a ring light, but it doesn't have a magnifier in it.
oh, get a
And then
magnifier. It's a game changer, dog.
yeah, I was having a magnifier in that ring light would be huge.
I have a headband with the magnifiers, so just
See, that's what I
put 'em
use
down.
most commonly. Especially for those of you guys that are kind of looking into that kind of thing. You can get these kind of standard magnifiers. They really assist with painting. This one's got a little light on it. I'm gonna flare out my camera real quick. These are fantastic, and they're not overly expensive.
CR
Well, it seems like
greater
we're
than
on
90.
the
Yeah,
paint.
CR90.
It seems like we seem to be on the painting thing. So, a nice thing that you can look at getting people at the current moment with Warhammer is they do have a lot of times that they got like the starter paint kits that are really good to get. Especially if you got someone that's wanting to get into Warhammer now because they played Space Marine 2, which is not a knock on anybody. It was a great game, great way to introduce people to it. So that's a nice thing to get. And Warhammer does do a lot of holiday stuff. A lot
Absolutely.
of times you can get like you can get the like goblin dude usually for free. Also, they
it's
do
not-
the
You have to spend a lot to get the red gobbo for free. You could just go buy the red gobbo and save money, because if you purchase enough at the store to get it free, you've outstripped the cost of the red gobbo by itself.
oh, I
Just,
thought you just could get them.
nah, he's like $30.
But yeah, and they also have the new boxes that are coming out just for the holidays. They look kind of nice. A little pricier than I want to spend for the holidays on myself. But they are nice and they are many different things. The Space Marine one's the main one I was looking at because I do salamanders, so we never get our own boxes. But it
That's
looks
true.
nice. There's quite the variety in there. But there's supposed to be a lot of heads and things in these box sets too now. So there's a lot of variation to actually mod compared to what they usually do. So that's another thing to look at getting your significant other, like the starter paint kits, and then some of these box sets that are coming out specifically for the holidays too, because that way they can jump into it and have a halfway decent starter point, with a wide variety of like low end guys, medium guys, and then like some actual big vehicles and machinery, that's coming in those box sets. So it's a they do the right thing, Warhammer, in regards to the holidays.
And if you're going to start off with Space Marines, Smurfs are the easiest to paint by and large.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're getting a whole lot of love with Captain Demetrian Titus taking over for Captain Acheron. So those of you that have a Captain Acheron model, he's probably going to get removed from next year's Codex. So sad for y'all.
He's dead.
He's missing.
No, he's
Just
dead.
kidding. He was probably eaten by. I think he was eaten by Tyranids. I think is the story. Or killed by.
Yeah, they get
Gene Stealers,
overrun.
I forget.
Him and Sharon or whatever his name was from the video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get
But
waxed.
that'll be
Sorry,
for a
folks.
lore episode.
Spoiler.
Speaking still of minis, a couple other things I want to mention. One would be a self-healing cutting mat.
Yep.
Super nice to have, something you don't worry about like scratching your table up exactly like that. They come in all kinds of different sizes and colors. Very, very nice to have for building models. And then like something like a little like 8-piece toolkit would be pretty sweet for most people. You can, especially if you get the flush trimmers, so they're flat on one side. Those are great. You can, trim your cut your models out, and you don't have like all the burrs or as many burrs and stuff on the sides. Makes them look nicer. Makes them easier to paint.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah, in that note, actually, on the subject of miniatures wargaming, moving into more of an intermediate setup. Obviously, the flush trimmers. They're a lot of times. I think the most well-known brand of flush trimmer is probably God Hand. When it comes to miniature making, those kind of tools are invaluable, and so a flush clipper, something to get rid of mold lines. Generally, they're sold in combination kits, are absolutely fantastic. Additionally, if you're moving into an intermediate or somebody who's been doing it a little bit longer, something for a larger purchase, I'm going to try to follow Travis's like scale here, is going to be an airbrush. Now, when you attempt to purchase an airbrush, that is an extremely intimidating purchase. There are several different brands, makes, and pieces that go along with that, and you'll find on the internet nobody really agrees which one is best, whether you want to go with a Waha or whatever. My personal recommendation is going to be the Iwata. Ooh, what is this one? Effortless Coverage. This one ran about $200. And I think it's
just like to note
absolutely
we're not
fantastic.
sponsored by anybody.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? And
It's
a
a
Iwata
personal
sponsorship.
recommendation. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely a personal recommendation. They're not paying me to say that. That's the one I like. There are several different brands of compressor. I'm going to be honest, with the exception of the extraordinarily expensive ones, there's not a lot of difference between compressors. It's just volume is really the big thing. You want to get a larger volume compressor.
Just hook it up to your standard air compressor and really blow some paint out. So, Bones, were you next?
Oh no, I already went.
My next recommendation.
Eric, what you got?
Go ahead, buddy.
My next recommendation was going to be the RTB Scratch Off poster. This is a scratch off ticket kind of thing, but it's a full size poster, and it has a list of games. And as you complete them, you scratch off the little material on it, and it reveals a new image underneath for your completion of the game. And you can get in a variety of like either modern games or retro games. I was looking at the Nintendo one just out of curiosity to see how many that I had played and how many I had beat. Um, so yeah, it'd just be a fun gift for somebody who's a very avid like retro gamer or even modern gamer.
They also make them for movies. So if you have a cinephile, getting them in like genres, they have a lot of. They're set up like I have a horror one around here somewhere.
And as you watch it, you can just scratch off the little thing. And again, I looked at it, I was like, that's just a neat thing to get somebody.
That is pretty cool. I had never
It's
heard of
always
that
nice
before.
there's a lot of cool ways to like jazz up your nerdy space. And I don't think a lot of people that aren't the particular nerd, like if you're buying for a nerd, you don't think about just because it's not your cup of tea. So like that poster idea is an amazing idea, and what I was going with, it's really easy. Like if you're not into the same things as your significant other, or maybe your kids or something that's nice to get that's easy is like Funko Pops, because they do such a variety of different things. So like if you know whoever is into like Naruto, or they're into wrestling, or they're into Star Wars, like literally everything in the nerdverse is kind of covered in Funko Pops, and they make special edition ones and they do all these different things with it. Like I have a really fancy Midori from My Hero. That's really cool. I like to show it off and put it out for display. It's one thing you got to realize in case anybody's watching, or I clip some of the stuff and you see it, like nerds love to show their stuff off. We're not crazy narcissistic, or like we don't have to collect everything, but if you really watch Lord of the Rings, you would realize that most of us are very similar to Golem, just slightly more attractive. That's really how the nerdverse kind of works. So
Yeah, on the subject of if we're gonna kind of veer into the decor territory, there's a lot of ground to cover in decor. And so this is really going to settle on you as a buyer, whether or not you know your recipient's major fandoms. Eric's right. We belong to a fandom and we like to show that off. Everybody's got a few, at least one, and you really like having that kind of decorum that lets people know, not decorum, but decor that lets people know what you're into. Now, the most common, obviously, are going to be the banners and wall scrolls. I think those are fantastic, but they're a little bit more difficult to find. And if you're looking for somebody that's maybe a little bit of an elder nerd, or has a space that they want to keep with a little bit more taste, I recommend Displate. Now, I'm sure you've seen their ads all over like YouTube and stuff, but Displate is fantastic. You can get nearly any fandom done up as a metal poster board, which has a certain amount of like class and je ne sais quoi by itself. And their mounting system is absolutely fantastic. It's a non-wall invasive mounting system using magnets, which allows you to rapidly switch out and change without having to knock new holes in the wall or do anything like that. I think Displate is a fantastic way. It's a little bit more of a expensive, right? Like it's not a paper poster, but it's a fantastic thing to get somebody for their fandom. If I got a Majora's Mask Displate, I would be over the moon. Alice in Wonderland, same way.
To not so much. Well, actually, to riff off that a little bit, I actually I have some things from Panda Gallery, which is also a pretty cool little company. They do all kinds of like prints, and then they are like acrylic, and you get a little light box with them. Makes it look like a little neon sign. It's pretty cool. We got a couple when we were at Comic-Con last year. But one thing when it comes to like collectibles that I like, and if you're like a comic book person, or then you could go with archival sleeves. So like acid-free or Mylar bags, acid-free boards. So if you have like really valuable comics, or even stuff you just want to keep around, this prevents yellowing when it's just exposed to light and to the atmosphere. They're pretty cheap. You can get quite a bit for not too bad.
We do have a call out from, let's see, who was it? The Lone Vet.
Lone Vet
said, growing up, the greatest stocking stuffers for me were trading cards, things like Pokemon football cards and stuff like that. Yeah,
Definitely good ones. Definitely good ones.
now that there's an aspect to that that kind of blind grab, right? It's the TCG addiction of you don't know what's in the booster pack. That is so much fun, and so
Your
I
mythic's
absolutely
in the
agree.
next pack if you just can
Yeah.
get one more. There's
You
definitely
just
a mythic
get
in that
one
next
more. It's not gambling though. Don't worry.
Yeah. My next recommendation, going in kind of with like the decor and storage, is the Numbskull Gaming Locker.
Yeah.
You can get that in like a variety of themes. They have an Xbox themed one, Halo, like just a whole bunch of different ones. It has a disc rack in it for you to put like whatever physical copies of games that you may still have left. I know some of the ones that are near and dear to my heart, I bought physical copies for. But the biggest thing for me is it's got an open cage where you can put stuff in, even if you don't put discs in it like they show. Um, but the sides you can mount up to 4 controllers. It has a spot for cords at the back that you can basically do a little cable management. And then a rest for your headphones just to keep your area a little tidier. I don't know if anybody's like me and is a controller hoarder,
Same.
but I've got 4 within arm's reach, and I only ever use 1. So I definitely have to have the space available to put those. So having a place where you can hook up or hang up at least 4 controllers and then have a headset. So um,
Yeah, in truth, that's a really underestimated gift idea. I think that's brilliant. You
yeah,
know,
it's
finding
just
a place to store your peripherals and store your headset, your controllers, um, every little thing. That's a must-have, and it makes your gaming space a lot more tidy, a lot more usable.
and
Highly
they're fun
recommend.
to look at because then you have like your little decorative deal of whatever whatever you're after.
Um, well, now that we covered a little bit of decor, I'm going to take a section and guide us into some of the more unplugged gaming stuff. Now, obviously, in the last 2 years, we've seen a meteoric rise in popularity for tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons. Now, for anybody that is not familiar with the setting, you might not know what to do in Dungeons and Dragons. There's a bajillion books. Everybody has different opinions. You can't Google anything. And so I think there are a few safe bets that would be really easy. Now, obviously, you can check with your gamer to see what books they have and what don't, and just look at the product line for Wizards of the Coast or actual licensed Dungeons and Dragons material. Or one of my personal favorites, I'm going to bring up. This one's available at Walmart, at Barnes and Noble. Usually runs about $60 to $65, and that's going to be the Game Masters box of Unlimited Adventure by Jeff Ashworth. Now, up until here recently, I was not a major proponent for third-party products. In 3.5, they were notorious for being untested and unbalanced, and it was
Broken.
broken. That does not. I don't have that opinion in 5th edition. I think the third parties actually where some of the coolest stuff lives. I think that the games can actually be expanded in a significant way, and the Unlimited Adventure Game Master's box of Unlimited Adventure comes with 3 books in it. The first is the Game Master's Book of Random Encounters. The second is the Game Master's Book of Non-Player Characters, and lastly, the Game Master's Book of Puzzles, Dungeons, and Traps. Those 3 books will take nearly anybody and put them in a GM seat more prepared than any GM I know. Highly recommend that. It's a 3-pack book, Game Masters Unlimited Adventure box.
I'm gonna leapfrog straight off of Ryan since he brought up books first. One of them on my list is gaming and fantasy cookbooks. Especially if
Absolutely.
you have someone that you enjoy cooking with or share a love of a particular fandom. My wife and I have a Lord of the Rings fantasy cookbook somewhere in this house. I haven't seen it for a while, but there's so many cool like gaming cookbooks, fantasy cookbooks for like different stories and like genres. So yeah, if you have a fandom, there's probably a cookbook out there for it. I know there's a Star Wars one that I've seen recently, and there's even a Star Wars cocktail one if you're big into cocktails and of legal drinking age wherever you are.
I'm actually going to jump in real quick because Eric did it right in the chat. Bones, I know you're next up in line, but we do need to give a shout out for Unplugged Gaming for one of our affiliates here at Crossing the Nerdverse.
Shout out
with Survive the card game. We've talked about it before, guys. You can check out our other video. Survive, to this day, is still one of the best card games I've ever played. We played it live here on the show. I cannot recommend them enough. They are
super
amazing.
fun. Such a fun game.
What's fun game? Yes, I mean obviously the cookbooks great gift. I have a couple of them, and they make like literally all of them. There's
Oh yeah.
No matter
We
whether
actually-
you like anime, there's anime cookbooks. There's like video game related ones. There's all kinds of stuff. I have a Hannibal from the show that they made.
Yeah.
I have a cookbook from that. But I wanted to get back into some unplugged gaming stuff real quick. In regards to, again, like kind of the nerd infrastructure. Some things that you can think about are like reusable, especially this is for like in-person, tabletop gaming. So like reusable wet dry battle maps.
Yeah.
The condition rings or initiative trackers. A dice tray, of course, and then also you can't skip dice. I mean, everybody loves more dice.
Clicky clattery math rocks.
Yeah, so
and then
Magical Math
also-
Rocks make clicky clacks.
Some kind of like token or meeple organizer if you're playing with miniatures or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that would be great.
You know what? Actually, Bones is really kind of hitting it on the head here. I was going to dive into RPG peripherals like dice here in a minute. A lot of my gifts are coming from my personal recommendations, and so they're going to be oriented for your dungeon master, right? For those of you that have a really intense gaming group, a gift for your dungeon master, gifts for your players, that kind of stuff. It's always unexpected and it catches people off guard, and I think it's fantastic. And I'm not going to lie to you, as a dungeon master, and I think the rest of these guys can chime in, a good high quality dungeon master screen where you can swap out what is on your interior is an amazing. It's a little bit more expensive. It's more of a major gift mode, but a good fancy, like, let's say wooden DM screen, I can't overstate how good those are. And being able to swap in and out what rules you have behind the screen as a dungeon master, oh, absolute heaven. One of the other deals, this one's gonna hybridize just a little bit, and that's gonna be in the subject of dice towers. There is a Lego dice tower set that has been all over the place. I'm sure you've seen it on TikTok or YouTube. The Lego dice tower is actually pretty solid. Not gonna lie.
It's on my list.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's on my recommendation list. I mean, Lego sets are also a good gift to get people. I mean, like, there's such a wide variety of different Lego sets. So, I mean, since we're on Legos, yeah, pick up a Lego set for people. I mean, they again have a phenomenal crossover with a bunch of different IPs, and they vary in price wildly. You can get some like entry level ones that are like, still advanced, but in the like $50 to $60 range, and then you have your super advanced ones that are in the few $100 range. So yeah, like if you know somebody that's big into Legos, man, pick them up a Lego set.
I can't believe I didn't bring this up during the news section earlier. Actually, one of the things I wanted to bring up to discuss with you guys, not necessarily to put it on my recommendation list, is going to be VTTs. My personal gaming group just got kind of a major upset with the VTT that we use is moving to a free-to-play platform instead of the licensed platform. And there's ups and downs to that. We can get into that in a future episode. But if you have somebody that is got a friend group, but they're separated by a lot of distance, a virtual tabletop client such as Fantasy Grounds or, even
Roll20.
Roll20, yeah. Getting licenses and access to those type of things for a gaming group can be life-changing. So, but there are a lot of interesting free-to-play options. I'm not gonna lie, Fantasy Grounds going free-to-play really caught me off guard. And I still think Fantasy Ground is my favorite virtual tabletop that I've ever used.
It's good. It's very good. I have
also-
one. Oh,
oh.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
Bones, go
I
ahead.
also thought of a couple ideas. I called them my like survival kits or builder kits. So you can
Okay.
get like a a few small things like like I was talking about for like what I call the GM rescue kit, and you could get like the initiative tracker, the dry erase markers, a book light, and some sticky tabs,
Oh
and then put it
yeah.
inside of like a zip pouch of some kind.
And
Boom, like
then
that's a great.
a couple of
like a
Tylenol
first
for
aid
the
kit, that's
headaches
awesome.
that his player, like that the players will inevitably give their GM. You know, you want to make sure you got a couple of Tylenol or Advil in there. You know, something to.
Another one that I thought about was a congoer survival kit.
Yep.
If you got anybody that's a big congoer, so something like a high capacity power bank, like a badge holder, which those can be fun. You can get all kinds of different like styles, and I have like a one piece one over there for my work. But yeah, badge holder, blister tape,
Yep.
and
You know what?
and like
Vitamin C, some
yeah.
emergency or something like.
And if they are a cosplayer, like a little mini repair kit, sewing kit kind of thing, for all those emergency maintenance that they
Absolutely.
need to do.
Fabric tape.
Fabric tape. You know what? There's actually there are groups of people that go out there that are called like con clerics or costume clerics. And that's what they do. They walk around cons for the cosplayers, and they have buttons and a needle and thread and just repair materials available and accessible. Having something like that for your cosplayer would be amazing.
To go off what Fanto said, he was talking about his, needing a gaming chair or a back massager on it. I have a very highly rated. I'm going to put this out there beforehand. It is expensive, right? This is an expensive gaming chair. But if you're getting a little seasoned in time, I'm not going to say old, but some of us gamers who have back
Hey.
problems, not going to name any names on the podcast. There's 4 of them, in case you guys are curious.
It's all of them, yeah.
But yeah, the Herman Miller and Logitech came together to make a ergonomic game chair. The reviews I have read on it is very, very highly rated. It has an adjustable lumbar support, so depending upon your height, you can adjust where you have the most back support. It's a multi-point adjustable, and it has the option for an attachable footrest to it. So if you also need to play in a more reclined position, you can. So yeah, there's the gaming chair recommendation. Now there are other really good gaming chairs out there. This one's just new. So
Yep.
No,
after
real
you.
quick, the massage thing made me think of some of the things that my wife has. She like you can go get like little massage guns that are pretty cheap, and they're like really nice. She also bought one that is like straps on and like massages your neck and shoulders. You know, just like wear it for a little bit. Super good for us.
Yeah.
So I have one, and I'm going to show it because I have it here handy. This is called a, oh, you can't see it. This is a cherry stone sock. It is full of rice and cherry stones. You microwave it for a couple of minutes and it gets nice and warm. Actually, not a couple of minutes. You microwave it for like 30 seconds. It gets warm and you can rest your feet on it. You can put it on your lower back, your shoulders, any place that's like sore, tight, or injured. My favorite thing, especially since it has the cherry stones in it, is heating it up in the winter and then just resting my feet on it. And I can kind of like
absolutely
rub my feet across the top of it. It doubles as a little foot massager, and this thing was like $2. Like this thing cost nothing, and it's been so handy. She probably heard me talking about it, and she's gonna come snag it from my gaming area. I'm gonna have to sneak it back out.
And you know what? To add on to what Travis is saying, yes, there are several gadgets and devices that will do similar things for you. The unfortunate truth is that a lot of those, especially things like heating pads, have obnoxious cords and other peripherals that get in the way and make it difficult. Having something you can just throw in the microwave for 10 seconds, pull it back out, and it stays warm for quite a while is amazing. No
like
extra cords, no plugging in. Yeah.
It lasts a long time.
And so, yeah, that's a fantastic recommendation, actually.
You can combine 2 gifts because you can eat. I've made one with a sock before. You know, you just put a bunch of rice in a sock and it basically works the same. You can buy nerdy socks and then make one.
There you go.
Double it up. You get your fandom and your foot warmer. I do have a like a specific one I'm going to recommend since
Ooh.
we touched on it briefly. 40K is coming up with a ultimate guide, which is going to be a rough guide for the state of the universe essentially in 40K as it sits right now, since we've had a lot of major story developments coming through the pipeline. So if you're into like the lore book side of 40K, which is where I really get into Warhammer, um, fun gift for people. Or if somebody just incessantly bothers you with lore questions, also a good recommendation gift for them. You should be like, bro, just
Check out
buy
page
the ultimate.
17.
Yeah, just buy the ultimate guidebook, man. There's a chapter on every faction. So, well,
Oh.
probably not every faction, but the majority.
We should have brought that up during the painting section. A paint shaker or paint agitator is a lifesaver.
No, I was single for a very long time. I still remember how to get the paint agitated. So it's the same motion.
Well, to follow Travis's kind of, here's a specific recommendation as I skirt right past that. One of the big problems that I've seen with the RPG scene is people trying to get into it, not knowing where to start, and becoming a little overstimulated or overwhelmed by the sheer amount of just content that is in the TTRPG scene right now. Because of that, there are a few RPGs that have come out recently that are in the very early release stage. You do not have to worry about, do they have the player's handbook? Do they not? And if you have somebody that is willing to try a new RPG, there are a lot of them out. And the two that come to my mind are both going to be coming out of Darrington Press, and that's going to be Daggerheart and Candela Obscura. Both these have gotten a lot of fantastic reviews. They are still not big enough to put up a fight with any of the major players, such as Pathfinder from Paizo or Dungeons and Dragons, but fantastic RPG systems that cover a wide variety of gameplay. Cannot recommend that enough. If you have somebody that's just wanting to get into games, or maybe wanting to step away from D&D 5th edition and try something new.
Ooh, I have a specific recommendation too. Mine's a board game. I'm taking Ryan's space
Uh-oh.
over.
I wonder if it's going to be the same ones I have. Hold on.
This is just a great game for like casual gaming. It's so much fun.
Oh,
4
yes!
people. It's just a hoot to play. You're up and you're not sitting down. You get up and you're kind of moving around, a little bit, which is nice. Games are very fast. Everybody, and it's like simple, so it's easy
Oh,
for people
yeah.
to get into. You don't have to spend an hour like learning how to play it, and then 2 hours playing it. You can figure it out in 10 minutes, and then a game maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. We've played that one before at several of our get-togethers. It is amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Ice Cool, I think, is one of the best. Just for like just casual gaming, board game night. I think it's one of the best games you can get.
Yeah, on the subject of board games, I have several that are great for gift ideas. And again, this is going to depend on the geek that you were buying it for. The big ones for me is going to be depending on what kind of game they enjoy playing, right? Effectively, there's 3 tiers of games, in my opinion. You have the party game. This is going to be your kinds of Cards Against Humanity, social interaction style games. And then you have shorter, quicker games that are generally done for game nights. This is where Ice Cool lands in. And then you have the large, more complex games. There are some new ones that have come into my attention this year that I can highly recommend. So for the very simple, very easy gameplay, Doomlings. Now, Doomlings came out, I believe, in 24. It might have been 2023. And this is a very simple, very easy to learn card game that is great for kids, where you take on a bizarre life form on an alien planet that is trying to survive until the apocalypse. And whoever gets the most points wins. And it's kind of a fun little storytelling game. And half of the enjoyment for me is determining what kind of creature you ended up turning into as you played your cards. It is a lot of fun, very easy to play. I play it with my 9-year-old very frequently. It's fantastic. Now, if you're wanting to do something not cartoony, I'm sorry, Travis, you had your hands up. What's up?
Oh, go ahead. Finish your list. I'll hop in after.
If you're wanting to blend the 3, and this is where I got really excited. This was recommended to me by a good buddy of ours named Big Rob, and it is called Vindication, which used to be called Epoch the Awakening, but it's now called Vindication. Now, this is a game that takes itself very seriously. It is got a very intimidating appearance, some beautiful art, and a whole story that goes along with it. But it blends that with easy to understand mechanics and turns that are not long. For a lot of us nerds, so even myself included sometimes, the worst part about board gaming is having to wait 30 minutes till it's your turn again. This game avoids that. Turns are very quick, very rapid fire, and while it looks beautiful and complicated, it's not. It's a resource management game that nearly anybody can learn, and I think it's a fantastic add-on, especially for kids that are, in the just hit their teens, right? 13, 14, 15 area. Vindication's fantastic. Cannot recommend Vindication enough.
I'm gonna hop in two things. So first one, Fanto was asking for a drone recommendation. Man, that is way outside my wheelhouse. The last time I had a drone around, my Mastiff ate it, because if it flies, it dies. So yeah, this is a drone-free household currently.
Drone-free.
Yeah, that thing did not last. But another indicator, just to pull us back more into the plugged in, as streaming, Twitch streaming and game streaming and clipping becomes more and more popular. A handy device that has come out fairly recently is the Stream Decks. I know Elgato, I think, is the name of the company.
Elgato.
Makes a
They're the probably most well-known Stream Deck company, and they make a really good product.
Yeah, and you can get like various levels of it. Like they have all the way up to their like extra large and stuff. That's got, I think, like I want to say it was like almost 20 programmable buttons. But you can get them as far down as like 6 programmable buttons. So if you have somebody that likes to stream or is looking to get into it, the Elgato Stream Deck is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. Also, as far as streaming goes, sorry, Ryan.
No, you're good.
As far as streaming goes, there's some like nice cameras that are coming out, like Instalink 360 or Insta360 Link is a really sweet one. That's actually what I have. It's pretty nice. Then also you could think about things like a boom arm, cable clips, and shock mounts. If you have a gamer in your life, for their mics, and also for lights. Another thing to think about would be like portable acoustic treatment. So if you're gaming, especially if you're using an open mic and not using a headset, some like panels, folding panels, or even just like moving blankets could be like pretty nice to have, just for the sound. You can also get things like you can get like a little inline preamps for mics. You can get inline ground loops, isolators to help with the hum from the PCs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like little things that you could get for the streamer in your life.
Another fun thing is a wrist rest. If they are a hardcore PC gamer, I recently had to retire mine because it finally started to fall all the way apart. I'm looking to get another one. And again, you can get them themed. There's so many, like, the sky's essentially the limit in regards to like wrist rests and mouse pads and things like that. So ergonomic mouse pad and wrist rest, definitely
I would show mine off, but it's a little risque for now.
Is it the Deadpool one?
No, I do have that one. That's my backup because my one I'm using right now is falling apart. But so I'm gonna shout out to Fanto. I went ahead and reached out to get a recommendation on your drone question. And the one that came back was the DJI Neo. Now, the reason the DJI Neo kind of jumped out for the recommendation was that it is a no remote drone, and it's really great for people, kids that want to like get some videos at the skate park or whatever. The DJI Neo is the way to go, and it's a miniature drone. It's very quiet, it's unobtrusive, and a lot of fun to play with. And I'm not gonna lie, it gives your kid the whole feeling of having a little robot pet. And they can make YouTube videos at the same time. It's fantastic.
I couldn't make a recommendation for a kid's drone, but DJI makes really good drones. That's what we have. They're phenomenal.
And this one, it comes in at about $200 and is very beginner friendly, apparently. I'm going to be real honest. I don't know drones. Like I'm kind of with Travis. I don't know anything about that. However, my tech guy came back with DJI Neo.
Yeah. Can you write that name in the chat log for us, Ryan?
I sure can.
I mean, other with like video recording and capturing software, again, Elgato has the Game Capture HD. I think 60S is the newest one that's coming out or has came out. Also, another good one, helps with capture software and basically a smoother streaming experience. So, to go along with that, and if you really, 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 really like someone, buy him a stand-up arcade.
That's your big your
That's the huge one. If I win
That's
the
the huge
lottery,
one?
I'm buying like you're gonna get your favorite arcade game. Like
Drake May jersey.
the three of you are each gonna get your own stand-up arcade of your favorite game. I'm gonna have Eric's actually take quarters, but not give him the key to get into it. So.
So I wanted to bring something up now that we're kind of getting into some of the bigger areas before we go big, right? On the subject of like things to avoid or not avoid, I know we've been doing a lot of recommendations so far. How do y'all feel about battle passes for a holiday gift?
I mean,
I mean,
if it's
I'd say just give them a gift card and say I want a battle pass. They can get the battle pass. You know.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
yeah, I think that boils back into my first recommendation of just like getting them a gift card for in-game currency or whatever, Steam bucks, Fortnite bucks, whatever. If they want the battle pass, they can get the battle pass. If they want skins, they can get skins. If they want to buy a whole different game with it,
All right. So I did have one big one. It's not the stand-up arcade. This one's going to be for a fairly select group, but I was unbelievably impressed with this particular device, and I'll never be able to own one. And that
a
is going to be
Lamborghini.
right. No, it is in the realm of lightsabers. Now, lightsabers have been a big deal for several years. Everybody's enjoying getting one. And the one I'm going to recommend is about $600, and it's called the Real Saber Ignition. This particular one uses some wild technology I don't understand to refract light and have it actually extend and retract a blade for the saber that is not plastic or a light bulb, but instead refracted light like a laser. Now you can't fight with it as well because it's light, but for the vibe and a retractable blade, I can't get over the Real Saber. So that's my recommendation in sabers. I know we were talking about it in chat a little bit earlier, and so out of all of the ones, there are some really great ones out there, guys. If you're wanting to get one that you fight with, do not get this one. There are some fantastic ones that are actual, like you can fight with them, combat sabers and that kind of thing. But for the effect of being able to hold it up and turn on a lightsaber, I can't get over how good Real Saber Ignition was.
We've skipped over, and I'm sad to say it, for the bibliophile in your life.
Oh shit, yeah.
I highly recommend an Udi or any of the numerous knockoffs of that regard, because my wife wears hers all the time, and you can get them with anything printed on them. They've got My Little Pony, they've got Hello Kitty, they've got One Piece, they've got Dragon Ball Z. I am fairly certain there's a Pikachu one that Eric is probably frantically searching for now.
To clarify, guys, an Udi is a hooded wearable blanket.
Yeah, with a big front pocket like a hoodie.
Yeah.
And it has a hood, and they're soft, and they're very warm.
And you know what? This is fantastic for nearly anybody. Like if you're sitting in a cold gaming dungeon, all alone. No, those are fantastic.
If I get really cold in my gaming area, I go get my Darth Vader bathrobe.
All right, Bones, did you have any like big swing items?
Like I said, mostly I was trying to focus on things that I think people overlook, that are important to the hobby. That can enable people to participate more. So I didn't really go with anything ginormous. One thing with bibliophiles, if you know somebody likes a book or a book series, there's always like alternate art covers that are coming out, or
Spray edges.
special editions and stuff like that that you can look out for. And then they can range in price from pretty reasonable to ridiculously expensive. So
Themed bookmarks, like there's
Yeah.
so many.
Well, and that's kind of where I was landing on a lot of the bibliophile. There are so many books that I could recommend that are fantastic. I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole episode. But there are a lot of peripherals that people don't think about that are fantastic. If you have somebody that is a book in hand reader, this one I bring up for one-handed readers more than anything. There's only a handful that I know, but a lot of people will read one-handed. You can get, what are they called? They go over your thumb and they're like a page. They hold the book for you. I had the name. Now I'm losing it.
Go old school and get them one of the medieval like pointer things as they read. They have to read standing up to use those, but it's like whatever. But no, I was gonna recommend also a Booklight.
Yeah,
Like an
booklights are
adjustable
always good.
Booklight. Definitely a way to go. We've got a couple of them attached to the headboard so we could read in bed without disturbing our neighbor too much. They're also good to have just like around the house, so like a reading lamp or whatever. Really highly recommend, especially if it's got an adjustable brightness level depending on what time of day you're reading.
Yep, and it's called a page holder. I finally found it. Fits over your thumb. It holds the book open for you. It's fantastic. Now, this one's going to actually be a little bit more specific. It was not on my list, but Travis, you reminded me of it. If you have somebody that is a book collector, shout out to Joey and Savannah, that has fancy books, first editions and stuff that they generally like to show off on their bookshelves, book nooks are cool. I think they're called book nooks. The hollow spaces that you can fill with art that sits on the bookshelf and adds a little bit of environment to it. I'm going to look one up right now.
Also, Kindles and Nooks are really good to give to people that are
Yeah,
avid readers, because actually I'm going to recommend the Kindle over the Nook just because the Kindle has the advantage of being compatible with the Libby app, which is your online library of books. Which, if you're not a member of your local library, go do that. Oh, that sounded way more menacing than it needed to be. But seriously, go become a member of your local library.
Like seriously, we really need to save print media. There's a whole rant I could go on about this, but like in a world where buying is not owning and everything is on stream and attached to the internet, like go to your library.
Yeah.
Please. They have an amazing setup. I guarantee you your local library has great stuff for kids and adults and lots of programs that need attendees. Please go to your local library.
But yeah, again, the Kindle will give you access to the Libby app. The Libby app gives you access to like some. I want to say
like
the
New
last
York,
time,
isn't it?
No, the Libby app is just an online licensing for basically digital media, and
whatever libraries you have, you can get.
Yeah.
Like you can go get like a digital library card that you can use through Libby.
Mm-hmm. And so that'll let you essentially check out books the exact same way you would from a library, with usually less of a wait time, especially if it's a really popular book or a particularly niche book. So, anybody else have a massive big ticket item?
I don't have a big ticket. The only thing on my list I didn't get to talk about was there was a book coming out. Again, this was for RPG fans that maybe don't actually play the game. So I guess more of Critical Role fans. Mighty Nine Stories Untold is coming out. It's got a slew of fantastic authors.
Mighty Nine show is out, isn't it? On
coming out soon.
That was already out. I don't know. I still need to finish watching Critical Role. So
yeah, I personally have fallen off watching as much. But there's a lot of fandoms, especially in my area. So Mighty Nine Stories Untold, written by, of course, Danny Carr, Nino Cipri, Betsy Aoka, May Cat, Mike Chen, and other fantastic authors. And there's a foreword by Taliesin Jaffe. And I think this is great for anybody that was a fan of the show. You know, getting a little bit of background information, developing characters maybe they loved that didn't get touched as much in the show, and is excellent, as Travis pointed out, as a add-on to the animated series coming out very soon. But no, the real sabers were my big ticket item. So
All right. If nobody has any other things that they want to recommend, we can start bringing this episode to a close.
all right, I do want to shout out, thank you all for the recommendations and the feedback in the chat. That has been fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and do the algorithm plug while we're here 5 minutes over time on our episode. If you made it this far, guys, obviously you like what you watch. For those of you that are in chat that are recurring, we thank you so much. What you do is really helping us keep the lights on around here. All that algorithm stuff is way more important than it usually sounds. Simple things for you, things clicking the like, the share button, leaving a comment, joining into our chat, and more importantly, telling your friends about the podcast is what keeps us able to do it. We seriously appreciate it. And if you're not following us, you should be, because we know the way.
Ah,
If you think of a gift that you think that we missed, write it down in a comment wherever we watch this at, or if you catch it on TikTok or whatever, just leave us a comment and say, hey, I think this is a great gift, and let us know what we
Yeah.
missed, because I'm sure we missed something.
Oh, I
for
guarantee
sure.
you we missed a bunch. Oh, and I want to see y'all's recommendations, because y'all are the nerds that we do this for. So
And then after the first of the year, we're going to request what cool nerdy gifts you guys got. So now's your chance to really load up that list. But with that, we are going to bring this episode to a close. We are crossing the Nerdverse, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.
see you guys.
It's nice to say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. It's nice to say goodbye. Hurry up and end the episode. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.